Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
So I want to say maybe 2 years ago, maybe even a bit longer now, I used to get phone calls regularly, sometimes several a day, from Heavy D, Colin. God rest him, and of course I miss him. But I used to get phone calls all the time from him, to do podcasts and just chat about general life, of course, about his career and all this kind of stuff and whatever else. And on this one occasion, he calls me up and he says, I really want to interview Micky Theo. And I said, okay, well, who's that? He said, oh, this is a guy, he used to be a bodybuilder. He goes in the gym and he does a bit of sparring, a bit of training, and he wants to fight John Fury. I was like, okay, is there any kind of interest for that kind of fight? I mean, for me personally, do I want to see John Fury against anybody? No, not really. John Fury was absolute pony in his prime. So Lord knows what he's going to be like now in his mid-50s. Do I want to see this fight? No, not really. I said to him, you know what, I'd rather not get involved if you want to interview like a Micky Theo and all that kind of stuff. And he said, yeah, but I can't record it. Can you help me record it, chip in with some questions? Because I really want to get my YouTube channel to start getting a bit of traction. So, of course, I helped him out. I recorded it and all that kind of stuff. I've still got the audio on my laptop now from our first interview with Micky Theo, which, of course, that was the first interview that Micky Theo had done on YouTube, where he was calling out John Fury. John Fury said that he can fight and beat any man over 50 and blah, blah, blah. Micky Theo said, cool, I'll do it. Now, I used to get phone calls after all that because Heavy D and Micky Theo, they grew quite close. Okay, they become good friends. And Heavy D, as I said, he'd call me a lot and he'd often talk about this particular fight. And I'm saying to him, well, why are you pushing this fight? He's like, well, because maybe I can get on the undercard and things like that. And I said, okay, well, fair enough, but I don't really want to see this fight. I'm really not interested in two old fuckers going at it. I'm not bothered by it. Okay, I sure as hell ain't going to go to no small hall and record it for you. I want nothing to do with it. Okay, but Colin, being Colin, he was quite insistent on it, and it is what it is. So I tried to take myself out of that situation. Of course, Heavy D died, and this whole John Fury, Micky Theo thing died along with him. Okay, obviously Colin was the one who was really pushing it for a long, long time. Now, with the announcement yesterday for the undercard for Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury on April the 23rd at Wembley Stadium, a lot of people are very, very disappointed with this undercard. Some people are trying to man defend it as best they possibly can and whatever else. Listen, if you are defending this undercard, please stop watching boxing, okay? Because it's not a good undercard. Ain't nobody out there going to tell me that it is. But a lot of people, and I'm seeing so many comments of, well, I think I'm going to be streaming it now. They're not going to be buying the pay-per-view. Now, it's one thing, okay, the tickets, that's one thing, okay? The tickets, of course, that's going to create a bit of a chunk for Frank Warren, Bob Arum to try and claw back their $41 million investment, okay? What's that, about £35 million or thereabouts? The pay-per-view is where it's really going to count. Of course, you get sponsorships and all that kind of stuff in that as well, and of course, selling the overseas TV rights and whatever. Of course, it's all going to help. And yes, you do have to pay for the hiring of Wembley Stadium, the undercard and all that kind of stuff. So they have to do a lot. And are going to have to do a lot of pay-per-views to claw back their money. Could Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury on its own do that? Sure, they could do very, very good numbers. And I've been saying this for the past couple of years, that Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury on its own is a mega fight. I know a lot of people trying to push that it's all on Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's a superstar and nobody interested in Dillian Whyte. Again, if you are saying that, please leave my channel, okay? Because you are lowering the IQ of my channel when you're coming here saying that. You don't know shit about boxing, okay? You just don't, all right? Now, to look at this undercard, and a lot of people, not just here on my channel, but across social media saying, I want to try and sell my ticket now. Because for me and many of you, we want to be entertained for a few hours, okay? And that would include an undercard. We are accustomed to Sky Sports pay-per-view fights with a good undercard, a decent undercard. And if it's not a good undercard, we will whittle about it. We will moan about it. But for quite a few occasions, we sit there and we watch a few hours of boxing from about 5:30 up to about 7 o'clock on YouTube. Then we switch over to the pay-per-view and watch the remaining of the undercard, then the main event around 10:30 p.m. UK time, of course. We will order pizzas, maybe have some beers, of course, if you drink, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what we like. With this one, ain't nobody interested in this undercard. Nobody is interested in this undercard. Frank Warren cannot sell this undercard. So I started off with a Micky Theo, John Fury situation because maybe, as Tyson Fury wants his dad on this undercard, which is what he said a few weeks ago, well, maybe, as much as I've been against this fight for the longest time and I wanted nothing to do with it, and I told Heavy D this on many occasions, maybe that fight may actually get a few people interested in this undercard. It may well do. It may encourage a few more people to click that red button rather than go, right, I'm going to open up my laptop, let's find a good stream link. Or open up whatever kind of devices people have to stream fights. It's not something that I've ever done. I always click the red buttons up, but you know what, that's just me. So maybe John Fury versus Micky Theo could actually save this event. Tyson Fury, he wants his dad on this undercard. He said this a while ago. If he's serious, then he can pay his dad and pay Micky Theo out of his own pocket. Lord knows he can afford it, right? 5 fights are 100 million, and he could be getting around about, was it 29 million for this fight or whatever it's going to be. So I'm sure he could afford to give his dad and Micky Theo a few quid. Or maybe not. Okay, maybe he's as tight as a duck's arsehole. I have no idea. But this undercard is shocking. It's shocking. It's awful. It's the single most worst undercard that I have ever seen for a British pay-per-view event. And I can't even call this an event. It's now a headliner at Wembley Stadium with white-collar fights, pretty much. I've seen white-collar shows that have better fights than this undercard. So maybe, just maybe, Frank Warren can put on John Fury versus Micky Theo in an exhibition fight. Of course, it can't be sanctioned by the board or anything like that. Of course not. They can do it as an exhibition on this undercard. It may pique a little bit of interest for some people to encourage them to click that red button. Because I think the pay-per-views may be in a little bit of trouble. But there's still time, not much time, but there's still a little bit of time to add a couple more fights to this undercard because you can have a maximum of 12. Was it 8? That's been announced now, maybe 9. So anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.